Well, we'll go ahead and get the meeting open. Tobias, if you do roll call.
Here.
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 And we have, okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Oh.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now a call to order.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Review of assessment book. I think we've all had a chance to do our homework. And I guess we can look at it as we go. I don't know if everybody has these sheets that Tobias made. There's a lot of good information for everybody, for all of us on there. I would, I just point out that as far as the city of Crooks on this page, should be on the table. On the left-hand side, well, the top says Minnehaha County levies. But if you look at municipal levies, I want you to go down to Crooks. Does everybody have that? No? No? I got it on. Oh, it's red.
Oh, you can use it.
Okay. I just want you to look at Crooks. And our mill levy is 2.098. If you compare that to the other cities, Crooks never opted out of the tax freeze. And I think when I became mayor 5 years ago or 4 years ago, we were about 2.8. So every year Crooks goes down. So when you get your tax notice from the county, it itemizes all the other things out for school and library and so on. But when we look at these tax increases, it's not the city of Crooks. We're getting less and less each year. And we're gonna, at some point, as a city, we need to look at changing our mill levy. We won't get into that now, but you can see we're way less than anybody else on there. This other list is got different towns and what the average was from the low to the high increase on what the county did. And so that's something else, some more good information for you to look at. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw an article on the news 3 weeks ago about, I think the county board met and they lowered the thing that, you know what I'm talking
The county lowered theirs.
about.
They can't lower ours.
Yeah,
They lowered theirs from last year to this year by 0.033.
do you have that value?
Well, it wouldn't be That would be next year, because once these are set, oh yeah, I haven't seen, so, yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know, but this would be like your assessed value times 95%. These taxes that are payable in 24 would be what's applied this year. I haven't seen next year's yet.
And everybody should have this, it has each homeowner that's appealing and what their taxes were and before what the county is proposing. So you got 2023 and 2024, and then what the owner thinks it should be. So we'll start out with our first appeal with Bill Bittner.
Okay, last year, when it came out, it says 28% increase. My taxes went up 28%. I argued with the county. They came out, looked at my house, went through everything, came back and said, well, this property sold for this much, this property sold for this much per square foot, and back and forth. And I argued with him right there, and he said, well, it's not going to do you any good to argue it last year. Not even to go to the county and argue it, because he says, I'll be there and I'll, explain all this and you won't get anything out of it. So I knuckled under, probably shouldn't have, but I backed off and said, okay, I'll bite the bullet this year and go with 28%. That was just on structure. They kept the land where it was at. So this year I did it, and they did raise structure, $9,200 again. And land went up $6,800, which is another 29% increase. They didn't touch land last year, but this year they did. They raised my land evaluation. It's not a new property. We haven't put in new water and sewer, no new roads, new curb and gutter. So there's no property, so nobody's trying to, like new lots, they're trying to recoup their infrastructure money. So he's saying that, the new lots are going for this much, so we should raise these lots. Well, these landowners over here, I know they're trying to recoup their infrastructure. So they're charging $60,000, $70,000 for a lot. And I just feel that, a raise of $6,000 on my lot assessment is way too high. Structure, I'm not too upset about, but that was about 2.68% increase on that. I'll probably get hit again next year because I added on to my property and the final hasn't come through on that. I've added a third installed garage on there, but I'll probably get hit again on structure next year. I just feel that the land assessment was way too high. I don't know if they've done that to everybody in that part of the city or what. But
I'll say land on average for everybody in this room went up 20%, if not more.
yeah,
So I'd say it's city, at least in this room,
29%,
yeah. I guess I can't speak for the whole city, but yeah.
So yours went up a total of 4.381%, and you think it should be 2%.
right.
Anybody on the board have any comments?
I don't even know how to comment on the land thing. This obviously is gonna apply to everybody. I'm not sure. In my mind, once you build a house on a piece of property or land, being separated out seems kind of a moot point to me. I feel like you should be looking at the property as a whole. I don't understand the land. I don't know. I guess torn about, everybody who's been here before knows me. I'm torn about this whole process. I don't agree with the process as a whole, but I will say last year, everybody that appealed that we as a board approved was denied by the county. I'll tell you that now and up front. Well, I won't say denied fully. It wasn't, you didn't get what you originally asked for. Some were completely denied, some were negotiated, but not to the point of where you asked. I will also say that they are basing these numbers solely on sales. They don't care about your neighbor. They don't care about the house that was built the same day as yours and what they're valued at. They care about what has sold in your area. And for you, that would be that house on 7th Street, yeah. And they'll base it on square footage, again, like he told you, and that was about 150 a square foot, and you're at 142. So, I mean, as a board, I'm more than happy to agree to this, let it go, pass it, and you can fight it with the county, but I feel like I should be obligated to let you know that that's gonna be your battle with the county. They're gonna look at that house, say you're under that, and I don't think, yeah.
So I backed off.
Yep, but I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying if we as a board appeal this, or agree to your appeal, just be prepared that that's gonna be what you would need to fight the county on, that's what they're gonna bring up. So
Well,
that's my comment.
I agree. Jan has been really well versed on this since I've been on as mayor. But I agree, as council, we should be fighting for our citizens. So we can change and, but again, the county's gonna change ours, more than likely. They're pretty adamant about it. I'll leave it at that. Anybody else want to say anything on before we go? So
I'm gonna make a motion to approve it, or accept it, or I don't know what the language is, but,
at 2%.
yep.
that
But
he-
what so the self-evaluation, 23,562 for land, 348,942 for structure.
there-
Oh, yeah, yep, that's
I'll
right.
second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right,
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Soren and Brenda.
Yep, so last year we had appraisal done and came in at the 668. And so when I reached out to, and when I went to the county, they said, yep, okay, you got an official appraisal, we'll honor that. So then this year, of course, they went up above and beyond what was projected for last year. So now, I went back to the appraiser, Brian from Ace Appraisals, and asked him about it. He said, and I quote, he said, go back to your local board, use the same report because it's the same value. He said the market and that price range is stable at best. So his recommendation was just to bring the same report back. He said the problem is they're just doing across the board percentage increases, to my knowledge. That doesn't work. So then we go to the local board.
Personally, I agree. Your house, I don't know, even today, I don't know if you could get it sold at that price and it's not about selling, but they go by what the other houses sell. Does anybody have a motion or want to say anything?
I'll move to approve as submitted.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve what the owner has asked for. Is there any discussion?
can I just, Tobias, do you
Yeah.
want us to verbally say out loud the dollar figures, or are you, for record purposes?
No, I can follow.
Okay, no, I just wanna make sure you-
Refer to like last year, sidebar,
Yeah.
sidebar, then I have a.
I just want to make sure we don't, okay, that's fine.
So that this can run 68, 200, 599, 800.
Yep.
Yes. So a total of 668.
Yes.
Is there, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. John and Jesse, I think.
John and Jesse are on vacation. I didn't think it was fair to ask them to cancel their vacation to come to a Board of Equalization meeting. However, they did do lots of documentation, which is all in our packets. John and Jesse are an example of somebody who did appeal to the county. The county did send an assessor out. I believe they kept their land the same and lowered last year their house down 20,000 higher than what the previous year it is. So they, same thing, basically had a land increase, and then put their house basically right back up to where it was, what their assessor set it at. So they were willing to accept basically half of the increase. So they increased about 8%. They asked us to approve 4%.
Move to approve.
Is there a second? Second by Chad. All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, and that would be a total value of $619,001. And Chad and Melinda,
Yeah, so, kind of the same, graph as everybody else in here. Land went up, 18.9%, compared to last year. Structure went up 20.1%. Asking on that 4.95, kind of took it a little bit under 5%. I don't remember last year, but, I think I came in a little bit higher on my ask than what kind of the board was giving everybody else. I think it was at 12, and well, if that's what he asked for, 12 rather than 8 that everybody else. Or what, like I said, at the end of the day, the county may not approve it anyway, but, the ask is 4.95 on the increase.
their motion.
Move to approve as submitted.
Sorry.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Brad or Melissa? Hi.
I haven't gotten a appraiser out, I didn't have time to get them out here before this, but I did an across the board average for increase, and that was 8%. And there was also a house on Fifth Street that sold last year, and they have more finished square footage. And we didn't make any improvements, so I just based it off there on the average increase on there.
Well, I think you're being really fair with asking for 8 myself.
I think I should probably have asked for a whole lot lower.
So can I ask a question about that? As a technicality, is what they put down in their PT 17 what we're, I know you don't want me asking that, but.
I'm gonna give you the answer I give you guys every single meeting.
I know, but I forget.
The board gets to make decisions.
Well, but I don't want to break some sort of state statute because,
You would break state statute if someone showed up and you added them to the agenda tonight and you would take action.
okay,
You-
but how they filled out their
It's
PT.
not finding, that's what they're requesting. I mean, you've done averages years before too.
I know, but we're obviously not doing averages tonight. And the only reason I'm saying that, Melissa, is because I have done my homework and you are high compared to, especially, I mean, in this room, there's 3 people on your street, no, 4 people in your cul-de-sac or on your street. And they're all $40 a square foot lower than you.
Yeah.
So
In my house, nothing.
I'm trying to, not that but at the same time, if you go that much lower, you might have a harder time with the county. And so I don't want to sit there and tell you what to do, but I'm just,
Yeah. I wish I would have filled it out lower, but
Well, we have one.
well, that's what I'm asking, because I mean,
So, I mean,
I would feel guilty if I didn't say anything, knowing what I know about your property compared to your neighbors. And so,
I am more than happy to revoke it and put a new one in.
because you're, with what Kistles who have just gone and Lyseth's, with what they're asking based on square footage, they're about 163 to 166.
Then their average went up like.
And what you're asking, well, with what you're asking, you'd be at like 215.
I mean, is that legal to revoke and redo?
Tobias says yes.
Just make a motion and adjust it and we'll fill out the.
Done, I will fill it out.
Well, Or we can just adjust it here on the form.
What?
Just adjust.
No,
yeah,
Melissa, grab the
just
one that you
adjust it on
already.
the form.
This form, I will adjust it on the back, you just make the motion.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Do the whole thing.
What do you want to adjust?
Well, hold on. I mean, to be honest, if you,
There is no improvements on that property at all. There is no reason for it to be that high.
I will say I would not suggest going I would not go backwards more than, you know what I mean? So to me, I would keep yours, I would do what, Lysets did, and I would leave yours with a 0% increase and leave it at because even at that, you're still gonna be higher than the other three that are on your circle that are sitting here tonight.
And I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how that works.
It's still not any nicer.
So I would make a motion that her assessment, I'll just say the numbers, would be set at land, 53,200, structure, 429,048, for a total of 482,248. And that represents a 0% increase.
Is there a motion?
That's my motion.
Second.
Second? All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Jamie?
Well, Rob's here.
I'm sorry.
Well, kind of the same song and dance, you guys, you want to kind of back up with, like what Greenies did too. We did our own comparables. I feel we're fair, so we put our own assessment there. Our lot went up 20%. Obviously I don't know why, but, our building went up a little bit too, quite a bit, but I think, we put our own assessment there after our own research and that's what I'm gonna stick out.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That number was 569,900.
No, they're
No.
at 600 even.
600.
600 even. I was looking at Brad's, sorry.
I'll say, when I talked to the Director of Equalization last year, he did say that the land was all out of whack and the price and the value of it between both sides of Crooks. And he said that they were gonna try to level that out so it was all the same across the state.
Well, they didn't do that, I'll tell you that, because
That's what doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't make sense, because I will tell you that, and I'm not trying to offend anybody in this room, but I will tell you that somebody like Rombo, who has a beautiful lot that anybody would be jealous of, is about 232 a square foot. And we have houses in the newest Sunset Edition that are sitting here at, backing up to, wherever, and they're at 360 a square foot. And so that's a huge discrepancy. Or Ron Shower sitting here backs up to you, and there's over $1 square foot difference of your property. Your properties backs up to each other. It's identical. So I would say the county didn't do a good job of evening out the land because it's still all over the place. So just,
Yeah.
I mean, I can see where they were trying to, but everybody got 20% increase. Everybody on that side of town got 20% increase on this side of town, on that side of town. So they may have done that, but if it was already out of whack, just applying a 20% increase just made everybody's higher and out of whack. So it didn't really, I think, do the job, but.
Okay, is Michael Mealand here?
And we don't even know what he was asking, correct?
No, I don't have a sheet.
No, I don't have one.
I asked him to fill out a sheet, he said, and I was like, no. And then I said, well, we have to fill one out at the meeting then. No, it says that's what I write down.
Well,
So is he the one that sent the,
The impact form of the green highlighted.
yeah, hold on. Oh, that's right, Tobias made it clickable, hold on. Yes, I just remembered that. So yeah, he did some comps, but he didn't say what he was asking for. which kind of ties our hands. Okay, so I don't even know how to deny it because we don't even know what
Just move on.
we move on?
We just do a no action.
I mean, I would agree, either no action, that no one made a motion, or you deny it. I mean, one or the two.
Well, as a council, I have to ask, if he walks in while we're still sitting here, are
Yeah,
you
just
willing to
make
listen
no
to him?
action.
If you are, then we'll say no action for now. If we get to the end and he's still not here, then we'll deny it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
no action.
Okay, Steve or Christie?
Okay. So, what?
No,
They've
got
done
it written out.
they've done the, yeah.
They fill out their.
So, they are asking, so they're same boat, their land went up 19%, their house went up 9. Let's see, oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Their land went up 20%, their house went up 12. They're asking for a 6%, basically half of what, it went up. And I will make a comment on this one too. This is another one that they actually have a next door neighbor whose house sold within the last 2 years and is sold, both their assessed price and the square footage sale price was lower than Steve and Chris's house. So I would say that they have some information that they could definitely go to the county with if they denied our claim.
I'll move to accept as it is.
To accept the 6.29%.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so that would be a total of 710,000. Dan and Holly.
Well, not as informed as the rest of them are as far as percentages go, but, our property probably went up 200,000 last year. Other than some grumbling in our household, we didn't do anything about that. We didn't realize there was a meeting like this where you could contest that last year, so we basically just let it go. We got our new assessed value, just recently, and, I don't know the numbers for property versus house, but again, it had gone up, and it was at this time that on the 11th hour, we discovered that we could fill out this form on last week, which I did the day we found out about it to meet the final deadline. Our house was appraised last year about this time, or actually I think in April. It is 14%, appraised 14% less than the city assesses or the county assesses it today. I will say that after submitting this form on Friday, I got a call that same day from Jeff from the county assessment office. Asked him questions. He admitted that he'd never seen my property or been in my property. So he asked me if I would send him the appraisal that I had done. As I had pointed out on my form, I did send him that appraisal. Then he called me back and said he would like to make an appointment to see my property sometime this week or next week and walk through it. But I have not heard from him since. He said he would call me again and schedule it. So I basically went by my history of properties I've owned and properties I've looked at, and assessed value has always been 20% or more less than appraised value. I will say that we appraised our house like nobody's business to get as much of appraisal as we wanted to get out of it for home equity loan. It did not appraise as high as we hoped it would, but we were happy with the findings. So basically what I'm saying is we dressed up the property and the house pretty good for that appraisal, and it's still 14% less than what the county assesses it at. So I basically shot in the dark and knocked myself at 10% off on the assessed value versus appraised value, because you're hoping that's what you sell it for, because if that's what the appraiser thinks you could get out of it, that doesn't mean that you're gonna get that for sure. So that's how I came up with that number. Pretty simple guesstimations on my part. But again, all I can say is county auditor is already connected with me and is coming to review my property. So I don't know what your approval or disapproval means in that, in the scope of it.
I will say what you asked was lower than even last year's assessment, 2023's assessment.
Yeah, it could be.
So not by, I mean, by 30 or 55,000. I don't know how that's going to be viewed by the county when, you know, because basically last year you, in a way, accepted, you know, what they assessed it at, and then now you're feeling it even lower than that. I mean, my recommendation would be you just had a 0% increase because your 2023 assessment was 505. So that's within 5,000 of what your appraisal is at, and the county does say it's your true, you know, it's not a percentage of, it's your actual fair market value, like what you would sell your house for. So, and then if you did that at the 505, you're within about $2 of greenies that we just approved as far as square footage wise, actually within $1 something. So my recommendation would be to keep it at the 2023 level of 505.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Ron?
Yeah, I'm one of the regulars here. I'm gonna go back a couple of years with a little history. And the big reason I'm doing that is in the last 2 years, our lot value is 175%. I'm just blown away. Now I realize there's a development right over here and they're asking a lot for the lots, but I mean, I can't sell my lot alone. I mean, it's got a home on it. No one's gonna buy my lot. They're gonna buy it with the home on it. And that was the one that really hit me, but if you look at my values, their values for my structure went up 10%. Excuse me. Yeah, it went up 10%, and then, no, excuse me. Structure went up 3.1%, the lot value went up 18.3%, but again, the year before, it went up 75.5%. From 37.3 to 65.4. So in 2 years, from 37.3 to 77.4, 107.5% is just, I just can't fathom that. And in the 2 years, the total value has went up 18.4%. We all know taxes are a result of your assessed value and mill levies. All of the levies that go together. Last 2 years, my taxes have went up 37%. My wife and I are both retired. We're in our 70s. We're on a fixed income. I've paid taxes since we've owned a home since I was 24 years old. And if it keeps up at this rate, we're going to be taxed out of our home. Which we love Crooks. We love where we live. We love the people. But it's just something that I don't think they're being realistic. Now, they can say that's what the market is, but until you sell your home, it's not worth what they're saying it is. And I think their values, my opinion is their values are high. My recommendation was to go to 1.5% increase on the house, 3.1% increase on the lot, for an average of 1.7%. And that's what my sheet recommended. I believe if you put a calculator. And I did appear, I took your value that you gave me last year. I actually was one of the few from Crooks that appeared before the board. I think you had lowered it 50,000 total structure lot last year, or maybe just the structure. Yeah, because I was more concerned about the structure last year, which was my mistake, because the lot value went up 75%. But obviously, it's a much lower value than the structure is. But so I appeared before them, and they made a motion to accept your value after I
went through our realtor's evaluation, materials that were used to build the home, and all that, all the information I had. And they made a recommendation to accept your value. And that was, came up, there was only 6 members of the board there. It was a 3-3 tie. And so they said, well, you're gonna have to come back next month. I said, well, I don't really want to do that. So one of them on the board recommended to reduce it by 20,000, and they agreed to that. But all I can say for the people here is you better have your ducks in a row when you go before them, because they'll look at, like what you said, surrounding lot values. So you better have either appraisals, market values, or they'll just, and then when it was all over, he said, well, we're going to raise you up that 20,000 next year. That's what the guy from the assessor's office said. And I mean,
Which is what they did.
I consider you people to be realistic, sound people that some of the things and decisions they're making and doing just, I mean, it's no wonder they're building apartments like crazy because no one can afford a house these days. So I would just go with mine, which I think the average was 1.7%, which is low, but again, I feel it was low last year, particularly on the lot.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carried.
Now you're going with my sheet, John.
Yep.
Yes.
With
So
the,
67,400 for land, 467,600 for building, total 535.
Okay, thank you.
I will say, Ron, you're at about 150 a square foot, so the average in our area, the low average is like the high 160s. So I'm preparing you for what they're gonna throw at you, so you can be prepared on how you're gonna respond, so, okay.
I second. Mike
Mike
motion.
motion, Alan second.
Cheryl Reed. Winterberry Circle.
Yeah, we're here. I didn't do the figure. I'm not sure it's very good figuring, but I don't look at the lot and the land separate, because I can't sell them separate. I mean, that's just bizarre to me to do this, but, so I didn't, in my final figure, I basically used the square footage valuation to come up with my zero. In 30, what, we had to pay 31 months and it's gone up like, yeah, 20-some percent in 31 months. So that's what I kind of look at, and I don't know how many, I have no idea what home sells for, it's not my business. I use the $200 a square foot, and from what I'm hearing, that might be.
Well, $200 square foot would bring you about within $1 and some change with Eflings. I will say yours is really interesting to me because you purchased that house not that long ago. It was 2021. And the assessed value is over $140,000 more than you paid for it 20 some months ago. So,
That's why it was zero.
yeah, and so I fully support a 0% increase. So I make a motion to approve as
Is there a second?
requested.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carried for land at 67,800, building at 661,500, for a total of 729,300. Shane,
All right, well, hearing all the fun that's happening, I'm gonna slightly redo mine and ask for a 0. So I've got these numbers aren't quite right, what the county's at, but that doesn't matter. So last year I thought mine, I swallowed the pill to get $177 per square foot last year. And I know Soren, my great neighbor here, he was in the 160 something. Hearing what he just said, being valued at 160 something, I found some houses in Sioux Falls that had sold in Green Acres, I don't know what it's called, that northern Hazeltine, at that 168 per square foot, comparable square footage to mine, approximately 3,500. So knowing the 2023 assessment is at 177 per square foot, I guess I'm gonna recant mine and ask that it just stays there. Because I think it's approximately 200 now.
So are you asking for 0?
Yes,
You'd be at 177.10 if you kept it at 0.
The increased structure
Yep.
value is $627,700.
and I know, like I said, I've seen some
You'd have to-
houses in Sioux Falls, 168, twice that's approximately 160 something, I didn't do that. But I guess I'll swallow my pill at 177 because I lost last year.
Because you built in 2017, right?
Correct. And I know they're hanging their hat on this price per square foot, so sticking with my 177, I guess.
That would, yeah, that basically put you between. What were you saying, Tobias?
This is building value and the lot value, 627,700. The overall increase is 12.40%.
Oh, on your sheet, you're saying it's wrong? Oh, so sorry. What
627,700
is what he,
for the building.
Oh, he's 1,000 off, is that what you're saying?
No, it's more like
30,000.
30.
So you're rethinking the 562,100 for your.
no, oh,
No, 618, well, sorry. Yes, on the building.
Right,
He was saying.
right, that's fine. Right. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, aye?
What?
500 for land.
Yeah.
562,100 for building, 618 for. So, for 23.
So motion approved at 618,600 total.
I'm so confused of what number was wrong.
Well, because the 2024 building number for the county.
Oh, okay.
was wrong.
Okay,
That's where I went on Beacon and I copied and pasted.
okay.
The 618,600 total assessment,
Yes.
618,600.
2023.
And I know the board, thank you for approving that. But what I always find interesting, because I thought this from the day I moved here, or after, the exact identical house that I left in Sioux Falls and built here in Crooks is currently valued, compared to Crooks, is currently valued $160,000 less in Memorial Park neighborhood in Sioux Falls. I've never been able to understand that, but my sister's twin house in Sioux Falls is still valued to this day, $160,000 less. It makes no sense to me.
Can you, yeah, it'd be interesting to see that land structure breakout. I'm just curious if they're overvaluing the land, you know what I mean? Versus, I'm just kind of curious what the reasoning is.
I have the data,
I mean, it's public record, so you could probably figure it out, but,
Okay, we'll go with Scott Christensen.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Do you have charts and graphs this year?
Should bring legal representation to present for me, but, so I've been doing this since 2010, and many of you have sat on board, so the 15 years that I've been here, this will be my 13th appeal, and we started at a total value structure land combined $210,000. We have now worked our way up to $558,000. Since we did a partial basement finish, it has increased the last 5 years over $200,000. We've used 3 appraisals, 3 market analysis, and appraisal and market analysis within the last 2 years for our appeals. Last year, we appealed, the county rejected it, and using a current market analysis and a VA loan refi appraisal. And they basically told us to pound sand. When I called them last year and this year, they didn't care that we had a market analysis or appraisal, so be careful when you go and present that to them. So we're currently working on another market analysis to get ready to do something different, I guess. And I talked to the realtor actually just before I came here, and she says it will be similar to last year in the stagnant market, or it will actually probably go down because we're starting to see an increase in home values overall. So we're seeing a projection of something even different than what we saw last year, post-COVID, good interest rates. So when I called and talked to them last year after they rejected our local board appeal, they said that ours went up 37.13% last year, and they said that was to get us basically on track to being within the market where we should be, even though I did have a current appraisal and market analysis, and they didn't care about that, so they just took the 3 highest months of sales and the 5 highest properties and looked at that. So when I called them this year, they used property sales houses between 2005 and 2018 and kind of took an average. But what I was proposing was, since we basically were told last year that the number for last year was to get us at the market value on what was fair and equitable, that I'm asking for that same number this year, since we're in a stagnant and they actually a big downturn market right now. So to me, that makes sense, and I feel that the market analysis that we did last year reflects that, and the one that we're going to receive tomorrow, punch a sign in the front, driveway is probably going to reflect the same. So I'm just requesting it stay the same as last year. If they reject it, they do, not for now. But we won't realize what the actual value is. Nobody will realize what the value is until you actually sell your house. And when you have somebody that actually has a transaction to, within the last 3 years to form an argument, the county, in my opinion, throws darts and they just hope that there's an increase in population that comes in every year. And they just hope people don't do what we do, because Jan and I have sat down and digested this for many, many years, and we cannot make sense of it. And I've asked them, what formulation do you use in square footage? There isn't. Like we bought our land at $42,000, and it's now at $85,300. Tell me what other land has increased around here at 100% value. You can't make sense of it. You can't hardly use your neighbors either, because there's such a conflicting discrepancy between them. So I'm just asking to keep it the same as last year, since it's the same market this year as last year.
Move to approve.
I abstain, just officially, just to get that on record.
Second.
I just want to make a quick note, the Genesis lot 1 was got at lot 3.
Okay.
For the record.
Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Is there anybody here representing, are you Brian?
I'm Brian, yeah.
Okay.
Brian with Busker Companies here on behalf of my appeal, I guess, is going to be a little bit different than everybody else's here. How we're going and looking at this is, obviously we develop neighborhoods and create residential lots. But appeal number 14 through 21, what we're looking at here is these lots are sitting along 11th Street and Ivy Lane over here at Heritage Pond, that in working with the city and getting the force main and the pump house and everything in, the lots got platted along an undeveloped section of the street. The county is going through and assessing them as if they're build-ready sites, and so I'm looking at assessed values of approximately, let's just call $50,000 per lot, where there's no street involved. And doing our research with this, with the development over here behind the school, they have 36 acres of land that's not platted, with improved streets in front of them at an assessed value of $130,000 and the property tax of approximately, I have the number here, hold on. $1,400 and $1,440 per year for the 36.78 acres and 130,000 assessed value. I have 8 lots with a total assessment of just approximately $359,000, just under $8,000 of tax liability. So what I guess we're looking for, requesting from you would be to reverse the valuation of these properties to undeveloped values because there is no streets. We just haven't gotten there yet, and as they just alluded to, there's been a slowdown with things, so the buildings of the business isn't occurring as quick as it is has been in the past. How we did our rough calculation in our industry, we probably average 2.4 acres per, or 2.4 homes per acre on that based on the general average residential lot size. So 36.78 acres, approximately 15 lots. We've seen the marketing plan, there's more than 15 there, but a good number to go with. Divide that by the 130,000, it's, approximately $8,700 a lot. So I guess that's what we'd be looking for, is just a number that would be more identical to the undeveloped land, knowing that once the street goes in, we of course know that the tax valuation is going to go up based upon. Unlike you, when the assessor looks at my properties, they just look at our marketing map online. So you're selling the slot next door for X number of dollars, and you go, yep. And then they have a valuation. So yes, there is no set percentage on that, but that's what my employer has asked me to come and ask for you at this point in time. And
Brian, would these lots start then at the end of the pavement? Is that?
Yes, these all start at the end of the pavement. Most of them are on the north side of 11th Street, and then there's 2, I think, where the half cul-de-sac is on the pond.
Okay.
I think there's 2 or 3 on the west side right by the railroad track.
So the issue is they were platted because we thought we were gonna be there by now, but we ended up not being, so now there's no street or anything to them. They're just completely, yep.
In hindsight, we would have just had PGR plat out the street and on the property.
Yep.
And done that. But yeah, and when we first were going through this and working on it, they said we couldn't build on that. So we're preparing, we're putting up a plan to see.
So what you're asking though is basically using the same calculation DWBP is, apply it to here, which you said was how much to?
So, yeah, when I just went out to the beginning of the GIS, right? So they have 36.78 acres of land behind the school here that has improved streets in front of it.
Yep.
And it's assessed at $130,000 with a total tax liability of $1,400. So we just took the $130,000 and divided that by the number of
acres.
Assumable,
yep.
Yeah, homes that are home sites. So at 2.4 home sites or lots per acre, and that's where we got that. So we figured 15 was a kind of an accurate or fair market number. So that equated to 130,000 divided by 15 at 8,700.
So are you asking for 8,700 for those 4 block 5?
I would probably say we can probably go back and exclude number 22 because that's on the first call back and it's developed, and that's not going to go anywhere. So I would say for lots 14 through 21, I'd be looking at each one in lots 4, 5, 6, and 7 in block 5,
yep.
and 10, 11, 12, and 13 in block 6 at 8,700.
That number again was
8,700.
87
for all of those.
Per lot except for number 20.
At this point, I guess I would ask that 22 be removed from the appeal.
That's at block 2, lot 5? Yep, okay.
Yeah, that's a fully developed lot, and has a street in front of it.
Okay.
It's gonna be.
Yep. So I'll make a motion to approve 8,700. Do you want me to say all these? I will, for.
Ideally separate motions.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to 8,700 for block 5, lot 4.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carried.
Motion for 8,700 for block 5, lot 5.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Make a motion for 8,700 assessed value for block 5, lot 6.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye. Make a motion for 8,700 assessed value for block 5, lot 7.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Make a motion for 8,700 assessed value for block 6, lot 10.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye. I'll make a motion for 8,700 assessed value for block 6, lot 11.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye. I'll make a motion for 8,700 assessed value for block 6, lot 12.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye. And I'll make a motion for 8,700 assessed value for block 6, lot 13.
All those in favor, aye.
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 We need a motion.
And then I'll make a motion to deny, I guess we just say deny, Tobias, or take no action on block 2, lot 5.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, well, back to me. With that, we'll,
Okay.
You got a question?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have 2 questions. So does the county use a percentage of assessed value of current market value, or do they
No, 100%.
100%?
So your assessed value is your 100% of your fair market value, is what they'll tell you. And then what your tax,
But right here on your.
but what you're taxed at is 95% of that. So your assessed value is your fair market value. Yep. And then you're taxed at 95% of that. Your tax value is 95% of that.
So then the other question I have is, when they say, director of if on the plus says a comparable property and information supporting the
Mhm.
their increase, do they do that? Yes.
Mhm. They will literally tell you exactly the houses they
You gotta
used.
call the county, but they will provide that.
If you're willing to pay for it, yep, if you're willing to pay for it, it's all online. I think for 20 searches, it's like $20. It's called Beacon. If you go through the Minnehaha County's website, you can pay like $20. They'll give you 20 searches. You can look up any property. It'll tell you what they comped. It'll show you comps. It'll show you sales and Crooks and the last.
So they will show comps to my specific property.
Yeah, it'll give a whole list of all the sales that they used as their comp. But you can call them too for free and they'll give it to you if you don't want to pay and do your own research.
I didn't know how to do that. That's why.
Yep. Yeah, if you call the equalization board. What were you saying something, Melissa? Did you say something about the taxable value? Oh, yeah. The 95%. Yep. And I don't know if that's, what? It's 95 for Minnehaha County. And I don't know if that's county to county. I think it is. It's not necessarily all South Dakota. Yep.
do we need a motion on omissions and corrections?
All of the rural service districts that they have not added. They added some parcels, but not all of them. So I reached out to them and asked them what the stupid, need a motion to add that. They confirmed it.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to add once confirmed.
And I'll list it.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Is there a motion?
We have to act on this other one.
Oh, yeah, we have to go back to
Oh, yeah.
Nealon. So
So they didn't request anything.
they
so-
didn't say what they're asking for. They're not here, right? They didn't walk in? Okay. So, I don't know how we can take action when they didn't. Yeah, I'll second.
All those in favor to
Aye.
deny? Motion carried.
Do we need to do this liquor license or is this?
After we close this thing, I think.
Okay, now a motion to close the assessment book.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Board of Equalization,
So moved.
Second.
Chad. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And now, a motion to approve the claims we've got.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Unless Mike, did you have a question? You look like you're gonna ask a question. What's what? From Knife River, you're paying for plaster sand. That's Tobias.
Oh, that's for the side.
The swing?
Yeah.
Swings.
They could rake it instead of just dumping sand on top of the sticks. I seen that because I was there with the kids. It's like, don't you guys got 5 minutes? Just drive down the tractor and rake the sticks out of the sand before you just dump on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like, what a mess.
Okay, so I think we did already, right?
Ready for the claim.
Yeah.
We approved the claim.
Yep.
Now,
Liquor license.
Special event liquor license for Ducks Unlimited.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And the 2024 fire and EMS service contract with the fire department.
Move to approve.
Anything special you guys mentioned about that, Tobias?
No, we just need to approve it.
Okay. No change. Second. Oh, sorry.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Both same sign,
Aye.
motion carried.
Any
Open comments, we did, Mike.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor. Wow, that was 1 hour.
That
Yeah,
was,
2.5.
that was the fastest we've gotten through that. I'm like last year, I've like, after the county guy emailed us and told us, hey, yeah, you're just a preliminary board, you're the final say. I'm like, well, why don't we just move to approve, accept anybody's stuff and just leave it with them?
I'm not talking to anybody. What are you yelling for?
Yeah, I think mine too.